Good morning, everyone. This is Back to Bible Videos. Hope everyone had a blessed night. Wonderful morning. We're going to acknowledge the Lord in all our ways, and He may direct our path. We're going to get to work early this morning. We want God to get the glory in all things. So, this has been on my mind for a little while now, and I want to deal with it. I really don't like to get into issues of color, but I feel that I feel that this is an issue that I should do a video on. As you see on my screen, I know people have a lot of issues with Wikipedia, but even though it may not be 100% accurate, it gives you an idea of certain things that you can go ahead and do further research on to validate some of the points where there may be some skepticism. And on this, as you see on the screen here, we're looking at the Prince Hall Freemasonry. And a little later on in the video, I will give you my reason for going into this set of Freemasonry in a little bit in the video, but it's personal to me. And you see, Prince Hall Freemasonry was founded by a guy named Prince Hall in the 18th century, and it's predominantly of African Americans. There are two main branches of Prince Hall Freemasonry: the independent state Prince Hall Grand Lodges, and most of which are recognized by regular Masonic jurisdiction under the National Grand Lodge. I thought this was interesting that this took place before America's, again, so-called independence. For those that are into numbers, the third month, 6th day, 1775. Hall and 14 others were initiated into the Masonry through Lodge 441. Now, I know I see Russian vids do a lot on the 4-4 and everything like that. Now, I just want to put this out. They tried to get into the Freemasonry to the White Boston St. Lodge. They were turned down. I wonder why. Masonic fraternity was attractive to some free blacks. That's such a deceptive word. If you were free, why would we want to join something of bondage? Now, I'm talking to for lack of a better word, black men and women who have been deceived into going into this order. Want to be a part of something that originally never accepted you, a constitution that saw you as 1/3 as a human being, and you thought this was going to give you some kind of advantage. Oh, it did, to your own detriment. So then they were finally allowed to join the Lodge of Ireland in March 6th, 1775. And they have a list of the 14 other men along with Prince Hall that started their first black Masonic lodge. Now look at this. When black men wished to become Masons in the new nation, the white members of the lodge had to unanimously vote to accept a petitioner to receive Masonic degrees. You had to beg. And then even if you're begging to get into this, it still was up to their vote. So don't think for a second that the reason that many black men are part of Freemasonry, best believe it was because they had some advantage and benefit to themselves to allow you in. This telling the raw truth. This telling the raw truth. If one white person voted against the petitioner, that person would be rejected. So it could be 99 for, yes, let them brothers in. And one Caucasian man says, nope, they were out. But yet you still want to run behind this. You still want to run behind this. Listen, and this is what General Albert Pike said. So many people know who he is and what he's all about. I am not inclined to meddle in the matter. I took my obligation to white men, not Negroes. Need I say more? When I have to accept Negroes as brothers or leave Masonry, I shall leave it. Hey, I'm not going to even get on to that. But what I want to do is talk about Prince Hall. I want to talk about Prince Hall and why this is. Look at this. Well, I don't even know if that's a real picture of him because I mean it was so long ago. Yeah, this is an illustration. Um, Let me talk about Prince Hall just a little bit. My family's name, I'm going to get personal because this is why it bothers me. And my family name on one of my sides of my family share the same last name. And I know that some of my family members were, well, the ones that are past, they were a part of it, and I don't know if anyone who's a living that is continue to be a part of it, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I know for a fact that I have family history with this particular set, and as I said, that my family name had the same last name, and that my middle name in Arabic is Prince. Now I'm sharing this with you because this is how these people work. And if you watch Russian Vid's video and how these people follow numerology, and have you noticed that certain artists if you notice certain artists change their names, and you wonder why they change their names, it's because it's a part of the cult. You see Jamie Foxx. Now you've seen people do the numerology on Jamie Foxx's last name and everything like that. Fox being 666 and everything like that. But look what he was born. He was born Eric Marlin Bishop. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a cool name. That's a cool name. But they don't care about what your real name is. It's all about what they want you to do. It's about what they tell you to do. No, there's nothing wrong. That's like a nice celebrity name, Eric Marlin Bishop. It has such a regal name sound to it. But no, they want him to take Jamie Foxx. I wonder why. I wonder why. Look at some others. Sorry. Her last name is her real name was Alicia Aguayo Cook. They changed it to Keys. I know they say, okay, you gotta have a stage name. You gotta have a stage name and everything like that. But do all the artists have to change their name when they become famous, or to be accepted in this lifestyle? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And for a long time, I used to think that was her real name. I was corrected by a young female years ago and said she said that's not her real name. And I said, really? Like wow. I didn't know that. There's so many others. If you don't know, this is Trayvon Martin's dad. Just in case y'all get wondering about that whole thing that happened with him getting shot. Look at him. There he is. That's Trayvon Martin's dad. I just leave that at that. Some of the most affluent black men in our history. Look at them. W.E.B. Du Bois, Medgar Evers, Thurgood Marshall, the first African American, so-called, to be a part of the Supreme Court. Richard Pryor, Nelson Mandela, Booker T. Washington. I'm not going to talk about these fake artists, these fake celebrities. They're just puppets. They have no pull whatsoever in what they do. They're there to deceive and confuse the masses. Look at Shaquille O'Neal. A nice guy though, down to earth, really funny, charismatic. But at the same time, before he even joined this group, why I don't know why, because he was already highly affluent and influential, and and made a lot of money. Um, but then he chose to do this. Initiation time, son. Look at that. Wig, fake in a dress. Come on now. And if people think, oh, this is because it's supposed to be funny. No, that's not funny. There's nothing funny about that. Nothing funny about that at all. Now he had to do this. He had to do this multiple times. Oh, you think is this funny? No, it ain't nothing funny about that. There's nothing funny about that. Nothing funny about that. Look. Look. I'm not going to even click on that. Look. I hear still a lot of people talking about Usain Bolt. There he is. Get a close up. Yeah, he don't look happy. But you did it though, bro. You didn't have to do that. You are the face of a nation. A star. And look. Get a close up. Lord have mercy. We gotta pray for these people. For the price of fame? Really? Just in case people didn't realize. Yes, he wore a dress. But see, this is a part of the ritual. This is a part of the ritual. And these fraternities and sororities, well, I don't know about the sororities, that's the women's side of it. These frat brothers, the stuff that they got to do for what? They keep us, just so they can prove that they can keep a secret, because they have all this stuff on camera. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. Still learning how to do this thing. Will Smith, look at that. Michael B. Jordan, Chris Rock, this is Tyrese. Oh, there you go. Mr. Family Feud himself, Steve Harvey. And you think, and you know, to be honest, they may have done this. They may try to do this with good intention. They may try to do this with good intentions, but I didn't see the, and I don't see it necessary for them to have to do this. If you wanted to come together for the benefit of the community and the better of humankind, why would you join something that's clearly evil, that didn't accept you, did not want to originally accept you unless it had a benefit to them? And now you see, you know, you hear people talk about Uncle Tom and Coon and House Negro and all these type of things like that. It's just like many of the YouTube channels talk about the divide and conquer. Because Jesus Christ himself said, a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Glory to God. And we humans are so divided. The only way we can become truly united is when we unite to God's word through his son, Jesus Christ. That's how we can become united as a people. Not joining some secret fraternity and taking all these oaths and doing all these rituals and stuff like that to try to get ahead. Now I kind of skipped forward because I said my family last name is Hall. People like, oh, why are you getting personal? Because I want to show you. Because I know how the recruitment works. And they, I'm nobody. But I've been recruited plenty of times in many different ways. But I never told them that, okay, yeah, my family name is that. So what you saying, are you related to them? It's a strong possibility. And the way they switch up people's names, because at one point in time, because my other side of the family, I'm not close to. So I was like, you know what? I was gonna change my name to that. But I thank God that I did. I said, you know what? I am who I am. Thank God. And not to be ashamed and change my name to my family's name. And I say that to say this because that's what they would have told me to do. They would have told me to do that. They would have said, drop the first name, keep the middle, and then have your last name to be what your family name was. And then people would be walking around calling me Prince Hall. Yes, Prince Hall. I know how the recruitment work. They look for young, ambitious, and they also look at the family background, the pedigree. That's all that matters to them. They're not picking just a regular person who may come from a poor family, even though he may be well, just as skilled, just as intelligent. It's about money and affluence and power. It's not about helping. It's not about helping. It's very biased. It's very biased. These black Freemasons. To tell you the truth, I don't even regard you as real Masons. I don't. I regard you as followers and people who try to stand on somebody else's vision and not have your own. And to see what you do to fellow humans that are not with your order is disgusting. It's disgusting. So I say all that, like, you may think, well, Stu, why do you bring up, about your family name and the connection with the Prince Hall Lodge? Because that's why I felt the need to do this, because I see so many brothers. I've talked to so many young brothers who were contemplating on joining. And I said, don't do it. It's not worth it. For what? Sometimes we even joke around about it. I had a family member call me and say, yeah, they came to me. And I was like, see, I was like, don't do it. He was going to go to university. I said, you better not join one of those fraternities. For what? I'm gonna try to go down. I'm gonna show you a video of something very disgusting. You may have seen it, but I'm gonna try to find it. I'm gonna show you right now. Very disgusting. And people want to join this for what? And why you have to go through all these crazy initiations? If you don't think this is sick, look at this. They're cracking an egg. Yo, they cracked an egg in this man's mouth, and he passed it to this man. Yo, it's hard for me to even watch this, but I want you to see. Passing the egg, hazing, and fraternity's secret ritual of pledging. Pledging what? What are you accomplishing? Look, he don't even want to do it. Listen to them in the back. Listen to them in the background. And they willingly open their mouth to pass a raw egg, and they jumping around like this is, man, I'm turning this off. And you want to be a part of something like that? And you say, oh, that's maybe just one. They all have those type of rituals. Similar, or if not worse. I'm sorry, I had to cut it short. It's disgusting. So this is kind of like my little rant today. This, I guess, is my rant video. This is my rant video. Because I know a lot of people, many people have done great jobs on exposing the boule and black Freemasonry and the celebrities and everything like that. But I wanted to bring it from my perspective because it hits home for me. It hits home for me, especially in black churches, so-called black. Because I don't believe in no black church. I believe in the church. I believe in the church. That's it. God's church. But you got a lot of pastors and officers in different organizations that are secretly members of these organizations. So their allegiance is not to the Most High God, it's to the Freemasons. And you don't even have to always look for the signs, this and all that type of stuff. You don't gotta look for that. Look who they're around. Look at how they get things done. Listen to how they talk. Most of the time, preachers and pastors that are in the Freemasonry, they don't even fellowship with nobody else except those that are already within the order anyway. So that should be another red flag to you if you're in one of those congregations. All right, I'll be back in a little bit to deal with some more biblical topics. So God bless. Enjoy the rest of your morning. Back to Bible videos is out. Thanks. I finally got this integrated webcam working, so now I can view things and still talk and things of that nature. So appreciate y'all support. God bless you. Love you. Back to Bible videos is out. Brother Stu.